I know, Vicky, but I'll see you on... Well, look, I'll see you on June the 1st, won't I? Yeah, I wish I could as well, but... Okay. Well, look, I've got to go because I'm filming a video today. Alright, but you need to hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. Okay, alright, we'll both hang up. On 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Well, you didn't hang up either! So this video is all about how to be a teenager with a chronic illness. These are my personal tips and tricks for how to make it through the teenage years, which can be tough for anyone. You're starting new schools, meeting new people, becoming more independent and starting to grow hair in strange places like under your armpits, on your legs, apparently on your face. I wouldn't know though. Yeah. Plus you're suddenly interested in guys or girls. Or both. It's the 21st century. Good for you, but I do think it's a little bit unfair that when I can't even get one gender to fall in love with me, you've got both. Of course I don't know what I'm talking about. I got tweeted by Vicky Patterson. I've been really trying. Yeah, that happened. And then on top of all of that, you've got a chronic illness. But don't panic, I've been there, I've done that, and Vicky Patterson now follows me on Twitter. So let's get on with it. The transitioning period. Now, by the transitioning period, I don't mean the period of time of which you transition from a boy to a man. I mean the transitioning period between paediatric and adult care. So let's just put it out there. This is a really scary thing to do. You're leaving your team who you've gotten to know and who know you, and you're going somewhere completely new. Unfortunately, I can't tell you how your experience is going to go. It's very scary, but ultimately, it's one of the best things that you can do for your health. I think having the doctors talk to you instead of your parents is such a small thing, but it's such an amazing feeling as well. And hey, if Internet Explorer has the guts to ask you to be your default browser, then you've got the guts to get through this. Compliance to treatment. When it comes to being compliant with your treatments, I wish I could tell you the magical answer or trick that will help you become more compliant with your meds, but I think, to be honest, it doesn't exist. You just need to come to the conclusion yourself at some point as to why you have to do them and what the benefits are. People are always going to remind you, and it's always going to feel like you're doing a chore. I think if I were to describe what it was like, it would be like this. The way that you feel about taking your medication and doing your treatments is a bit like the way most men feel about foreplay. They don't really want to do it, and sometimes they feel like they're doing it for somebody else's benefit more than their own, and it's exhausting, you know, and they know that once it's over, they're gonna have to do it all again tomorrow. But they do it anyway because they know their partner will make them regret it if they don't. And taking your medication is a bit like that. You'll only regret it if you don't. Body image. What you look like is something that is very important when you're going through the teenage years. And when you have a chronic illness, your self-confidence can take a bit of a hit. But have no fear, because we've all been through it. I mean, I wasn't always this dashing young man sat before you today. No, when I was younger, I looked like a mix between Macaulay Culkin and a 12-year-old girl. Thank God for puberty. When you have something like cystic fibrosis, you might get something like a distended belly, or CF belly, where it looks like you're carrying twins every time you finish a Big Mac. Or you might have scars, or maybe even things sticking out of you, like a portacath or a feeding tube. Just remember that six-packs are a lot easier to get, and scars are way cooler. Plus, it's a well-known fact, guys, that chicks dig scars. I honestly don't know how I find myself in these situations. Also, please ignore the curtains in that video. Why no one told me my hair looked like that, I have no idea. I mean, I like to think I look like Leonardo DiCaprio from the Titanic, but most people were just comparing me to the bad guy from Charlie's Angels. But back to body image, somewhere I read a great quote about scars, and it said, "I started with a blank page, and now look at all the stories that my body tells." I don't actually remember who said it, but if you want to quote it, you can say that I said it if you wanted, because, well, technically I did say it, like, just then. How to tell people. For me, during my teenage years, telling people was by far one of the most difficult things to do. And so letting people know about your CF is, I think, quite an important thing, but quite a difficult thing. I could go on and give you a bunch of tips on this subject. However, somebody has put a video together on this and it's absolutely brilliant. I have no idea who they are, but they really deserve a medal. So I'll go and link that video in the description below. Feeling isolated. As you go through the teenage years, you're slowly finding yourself making new friends, finding the people that you want to spend the most important years of your life so far with. But when you have a chronic illness, you can feel more isolated than the sperm that came second in the race. So I would recommend talking to someone who has the same illness. However, I should at this point out that people with cystic fibrosis can't meet face to face. Due to cross-infection, we're not allowed to meet face to face, but this is where social media is so great and plays such a big part. I would recommend joining a group on Facebook or asking your unit where you're treated if they know of any forums, or the Cystic Fibrosis Trust do have some fantastic forums, or their Hack It Out website, which are great places for people with cystic fibrosis to interact safely. The best decision I made as a teenager regarding my CF is connecting with others with cystic fibrosis. It's such an isolated illness, but social media has given us a platform to connect, support and be there for one another. But to have the ability to speak safely with those who are going through what we're going through and who understand what you're going through is just invaluable. So that's it, my tips on surviving the teenage years when you have a chronic illness. Like always, please remember they're just my tips, and if you have any of your own, please feel free to drop them in the comments section below. Also, if you have any subjects that you'd like me to cover in future episodes, please feel free to drop them in the comments section below. But for now, much love, keep smiling!